Hi everybody, I am super excited to do my little show and tell today. The Go-To-Coders product line is definitely expanding. Oh, and right off the bat, before I forget, I wanted to mention that none of the MCA products that we are putting out overlap each other. So definitely each product stands on its own, meaning that you're not going to see cases that are in one book also show up in the same exact cases in another book. Okay, nothing is duplicated. The online cases are very different from the cases coming up on any of our books, and that'll always be the case. So the moment a student fails the certification exam, their whole world comes crashing down. For this reason, I'm really proud to say that all products from MCA address the certification test first and the real world second. They both get thoroughly addressed, but again, hell hath no fury like a student scorn. You get the call all the time, hi, I just finished an online course with ABC Company and I'm just completely lost. I just failed the exam and I'm really upset. My first thought is, I wish you would have taken our online course, but anyway, it is what it is. They've just literally spent a boatload of money with ABC School and now they're in dire straits. So this happens all day long at the academy. We receive the call all day long. It's a horrifying reality for lots and lots of people. Well, but guess what? I've created something that's going to obliterate all the misfortunes that these testers are constantly facing. I have a passion for taking really difficult concepts and simplifying them for people. So to that end, here's what I did. So this, my lovelies, is the 150 study cases. Look at this little beauty. And I'm gonna tell you all about it. But real quick, you are already thinking, oh, but I already have a study guide, from so-and-so company, and well, I got so frustrated with it. Totally wasted my time and my money. You know what? I've seen all the study guides that y'all are talking about, so I know exactly what you're referring to, and you are so right. The study guides out there, they're so full of fluff, and that fluff distracts the learner from the truly essential knowledge that they need to know. I mean, if your learning is slow and painful, then your performance is going to be slow and painful. So I'm so sorry that's the deal in the industry. I'm not sure why, but there is no fluff or clutter with anything that MCA does. All detailed rationales come in to the point, straightforward, easy to read formats. The coding guidelines are strategically taught using everyday language in order to leave no learner behind. I asked the publishers to place it on a coil. You see, the coil. This book is not going to be slamming shut on you every time you turn around or let go of the book. That's not going to happen. That's happening with a lot of the study guides that I've been seeing. Nobody else does that. Everybody else puts it on some kind of a bind. We took the time. We thought it was important to put this on a coil. MCA thinks about this kind of stuff. We think about the learner's comfort and their convenience so much that the entire book is colorful. All right, let me show you the pages as best as I can, because it's always hard to show on a video. But here's the inside of the book, and you can see that there's all kinds of color. It's not going to bore you to death. So very beautiful, very colorful, and just makes it more attractive and more inviting to the real tranquil and peace type of emotion from the theme found in the pages, but very colorful. You will always see a case on the front, and immediately behind it is the answer key. Can you believe that? That's amazing. So look, watch, let me give you an example. So here's a case, right? You're trying to work it all out. And then right when you turn the page, right behind it is the answer key, right? So you don't have to go sifting through the very, very back of the book, struggling to try to find it and wasting all this kind of time. No, you are going to love this part, okay? It's my favorite thing, actually. And nobody else does it but Medical Coding Academy. All right, you can see I'm very proud of that. But I'm very proud of it because I just want my learners to feel spoiled. My precious little code brats. They deserve the very best because they believe in me. They believe in our school. They believe in our products. So everybody tried to tell me, be careful with doing all that. You're really going to hurt your profit. And I'm like, whatever. It's all about my student. So you're going to love the boldface type that I use, the capitalized lettering, the highlighting, the way the highlighting of certain topics stay the same color. Red for medical blue for medical abbreviations, red for medical terms, and so forth and so on. There's something to be said about organization. We also want you to know that we use the highest quality of paper, so it's not going to tear. There's not going to be any bleed through. Again, the answer keys are comprehensive and jam-packed with detailed explanations of the ICD-10 and CPT medical coding guidelines. The content knowledge within the book itself is going to include the guidelines on ICD-10, CPT, HCPCS. Evaluation and management is definitely in there. Anesthesia, radiology, path and lab, pathology, medicine, integumentary, musculoskeletal, how to code respiratory, cardiovascular, digestive, the urinary system, the male system, the female system, maternity, endocrine system, the nervous system, eye and ear. I hope I got everything. But yeah, I wrap the entire study guide with, I wrap it up with some very vital non-coding tidbits that are also seen a lot on certification exams, to include things like medical terminology, anatomy, medical abbreviations, compliance, regulations, Medicare, HIPAA, things like that. But wait, because we're not done. Aside from all the bells and whistles that we just went over, this is quite literally the most comprehensive study guide ever to hit the market. All right, I say that because if passing the test was all that mattered, I would have ended the book right there. But that's not the case. Once you pass your exam, you're gonna need to perform in the real world. And for that reason, I wanted to explain there's a skill set that's needed to pass the exam, but there's a different skill set needed to perform in the real world. I wanted to create a study guide that was gonna close that gap, right? Literally close the gap. There's a significant gap that lies between the test and the real world. And definitely this guide closes that gap. So let me tell you what I mean. After equipping you with the medical coding skills that you need to pass the test, I then move the learner to the real world aspect of the field. In this step, it's called the encoder step. The learner will learn, which keywords to abstract from each and every single case, so that they can master knowing what to abstract and enter into their encoder software at work, because that's what they're going to do all day long. Highly, highly important, and that's why I stressed it in this book. This is where the skill set of deciphering the diagnosis and the procedures in each case is most definitely going to be developed. No one else does that, by the way. Just saying. But wait, there's more, because after completing of the all the encoder exercises, I'm then going to teach you how to locate those very same diagnosis and procedures using the intricate alphabetical indexes that are located at the back of your CPT ICD-10 book and HCPCS book. Again, nobody else does that. Literally, again, the coding guidelines are strategically taught using everyday language in order to leave no learner behind. Fully comprehending the medical coding guidelines, those ICD-10 and CPT guidelines, is going to be essential to really, really having victory on that test. So once again, to recap, we put it on a coil and we made the pages colorful. Everyone else, from what we were seeing, uses color on the covers, but not in the guts, not in the pages. I think one company might have used some baby blue, but that was it. But my favorite thing ever is definitely the fact that each page has its own case and its own answer key directly behind it. Nobody else does that. Hands down, there has never been a creation where the learner is offered exam preparation and the real world aspects of what I just talked about to prepare you for the real world. So it's awesome to learn everything kind of at the same time. It's second to none because there's nothing like it. I hope you can see by now that MCA took a great amount of consideration for the learner in every single literal aspect, in terms of making the product. I want you to know that each case is taught with a heart of compassion. There's an undeniable sense of servanthood felt from start to finish. You can feel that I am taking care of you in these cases and these answer keys. So again, from start to finish, you're going to experience that. So anyway, save yourself the time, the money, the heartache, the frustration. Don't go buying all this other stuff that's out there because it's never going to be apples to apples, because there's nothing else out there like it. All right. Before I close, I also want to mention the incredible experience that it will be to complete these cases and move right on to this beloved mock exam. It is of the utmost importance that everyone has the opportunity to take the test and experience what it's like to be tested on everything that you've just learned. Prompted the meticulous undertaking of the mock exam project at all. So introducing the Go-To Coders mock exam. There's the front and there's the back. Talk about seeing everything come full circle and experiencing stellar results as you're gliding through the cases, because you know everything now and you're putting your new powers through the test. But also enclosed with the mock exam is going to be the Scantron. All right, the whole thing is going to be wrapped in clear wrapper so that you can't get inside of it until it's literally time for you to do so. And you'll know when it's time to do so after you've read all the instructions here. Then you can open the book and the mock exam and start to take it. It's going to explain how to create an environment that'll give you the most realistic, testing conditions so that you can know pretty much what it's going to be like to take the actual test. You're going to see some amazing exam tips, It'll tell you how to calculate your score. And so the point is, get ready to achieve stellar results and carry that momentum, right from this mock exam onto the real test. All right. Again, this book is also still on a coil. It's full of color. Inside the pages are also very, very colorful. Here we have this blue thing. It's a little less colorful, that's for sure, because we're trying to mimic or, keep the feeling of the actual test. The actual test doesn't have all this color, so we didn't want to do that. We wanted you to feel what it's going to really be like. So, but in this book, I couldn't put the answer keys directly, obviously, behind the cases, because then you would accidentally see the answers. So I didn't do that. So I had to put the answers in the back in this case. But I did that, and I just want to let you know that I still kept that same colorful format. You're very used to certain colors meaning certain things, so it'll make you really enjoy your learning back here. But definitely this is a one little gem to experience once you've learned every bit of what there is to learn throughout this study book kit here. But yeah, so the mock exam was developed for people who have the knowledge and simply want to experience what the real test is going to be like. It was also developed for people that have the coding knowledge but aren't really sure they have enough knowledge. If you order just the mock exam and you go through it and you happen to experience that you realize you didn't know as much as you needed to know, it will absolutely expose that. And in such an event, I definitely recommend getting your hands on the red book, the study cases. So I'm hoping that for most of you, if you have the knowledge, if you already have the knowledge, the mock exam will end up serving as a real life simulation of the actual test. Because then it just feels like your mock exam is your first try, and by the time you take your test, that's like your second try. It's amazing. All right. The mock exam comes equipped, once again, with detailed yet to the point rationales that are going to reveal which questions you missed, and more importantly, they're going to explain why you missed it so that you don't miss it again in the future. So that'll minimize, definitely, if not completely, take getting caught off guard completely off the table. So yeah, so anyway, yikes. Before I forget, make absolutely sure you are following the word for word instructions that are listed in the very first few pages of the study cases and of the mock exam. It is critical that you're following each and every step, each and every instruction. You're gonna miss out on a lot of gems and jewels by not following the instructions as they are laid out for you. Although both books can be bought independently, partnering them together is a complete blast, okay? You just have a blast when you do that. They were designed to go hand in hand, so you can imagine just how full throttle the whole experience is when they're partnered together. But again, they can be bought independently. Speaking of partnering, oh, and by the way, if you need the tabbing system, the study cases, the mock exam, and you're also dying to get your hands on the color coding chart, check out the prep kit that we have out on that video, the prep kit video that we just put out, because you can get all 4 of the items in a bundle inside of a kit. So yeah, so there's lots of options. In closing, just know that it kills me when people who can absolutely do the job of a coder can't pass the test. They're constantly losing incredible job opportunities with that type of scenario. So yeah, that's one of the main things that prompted me. Also, just because people keep asking us for extra practice questions, extra mock exams. So, it's a lot of reasons why we did this for you. But I want you all to know that basically definitely had a supernatural power to it. I just want to thank God right now for holding me up, while doing all this. So I wanted to definitely end the video making sure I thank the Lord for all that He did to make all of this happen for myself, for each and every one of you, because it's amazing to be finished now with these projects and know that you all are going to be so blessed by it. So anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and God bless you all.